Hey guys, it's Stephenie Fitt from fitbodies.com, 2T's. Really good to see you today. I am going to get real with you, and if you're subscribed to my videos, you follow me on social media, you know that it's pretty much always real. No makeup, no hairdresser, in my sweats, in my home, nothing staged, just a brainstorm list and things that I want to share with you. I'm just a regular person who's interested in a lot of things that I want to share with you that might help you and me be the healthiest, fittest, best version of yourself. Love the body you live in, that sort of stuff. So I've kind of had a low this week, kind of hit a little roadblock, and made me think that obviously, of course, I'm not the only one that has struggles, and so I thought I would share with you ways to overcome overwhelm. And there's a storm raging outside, or beginning to rage. The wind is howling. You might hear it. I have an open window over here, but in Colorado we've got storm coming, and perfect segue into how to weather the storm in your own life, and how do you overcome it, and how do you deal with the overwhelming pressures in your life. So overcoming overwhelm. So I've got a long list. I just brainstormed some things. It's long. Please stay with me. I'm going to make it as short and concise as possible. I love your feedback, your comments. I love especially the positive comments, and I do my best to reply to all of them, to respond. So if you have an idea, something that I don't mention, something that works for you, please share. That would rock my world to hear what you do, and it might help me and help my other followers as well. Okay, so here's my brainstorming list. I am not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. This is just what's worked for me, and yeah, maybe there's something that will work for you. So my number one thing when I feel overwhelmed is I disconnect. So oftentimes, have you ever scrolled through social media, and you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and you're just grumpy, you're just and you can't figure out why. You ask yourself, why am I so grumpy? Why am I pissy right now? And for me anyway, I can speak for me, oftentimes I see something in my social media feed that triggers me, whether it's somebody who's super successful or super beautiful or super thin or super fit, or maybe on a good day I look at that and go, you go girl. But on a bad day, or a time when I'm struggling a little bit, that might be a trigger for me to feel bad about myself, to feel not worthy, not up to par, and so forth. And so disconnecting, maybe being proactive by sensing I'm struggling right now. I'm going to disconnect from social media for a little bit, and try to maybe read, or go on a date with your partner, or spend time with your child, or take a walk or something instead. And I know this is tough, especially for those of you who run a business through social media, or who find that most of the time that's a really good benefit to you. I understand that. I'm not bashing social media whatsoever, but I do believe that sometimes taking a disconnect break could make a world of difference in working on ourselves. So number one, disconnect. Number two, gratitude. There's just a lot of talk. I know this is over talked about, and there's gratitude journals and affirmations and all kinds of stuff, but really the most successful people I've met and I've encountered and I follow all practice gratitude, and in one way, shape, or form. Whether that's you write 3 things a day that you're grateful for in your gratitude journal, or whether it's you pray and are grateful, or whether it's you meditate and are grateful, or just have hope in your heart and the positive vibe in your heart, that there's so much to be grateful for. Now, I'm going to challenge that a little bit, because I know that many of us are very privileged, and I want to acknowledge that. I really try, when I express my gratitude, to not say, well, at least I'm better off than so-and-so, or at least my problems are better than his, or I'm so glad I'm not that person. I am privileged, and I need to be grateful for that, and be very aware that I am privileged. And many of you watching may not have the same luxuries that I do, And yet I really strongly believe that we all have something to be grateful for, more than one thing. And seeking out those things that we're grateful for really helps turn our mindset. Instead of feeling like a scarcity mindset, instead of feeling that you don't have enough, focusing on the riches that we do have. And I'm not talking monetary riches. I'm talking about just the wealth of friends or family or health, or maybe it's something as simple as I love my eyelashes or I'm grateful for this toenail polish color. I mean, I know that sounds trite, but shifting our focus to gratitude, if you believe in the law of attraction, it attracts so much more good. Like attracts like, I believe. And focusing on positives brings more positive in. It's not to say that you're going to get $1 million for liking your toenail polish, but I feel like it's a start. It's a start. So gratitude and acknowledging privilege and doing what you can to help those around you, being grateful for what you've been given or what you've worked hard for. All right, number 3, get outside, get away. So some people, speaking of privilege, can take a trip and get away. Oh, I got to just get away. I got to go to Cabo. I got to go to Hawaii, Costa Rica, whatever. I see that all the time on social media, and often those are things that trigger me because I don't have the financial means or the flexibility of time to go and take these grand getaway trips. It's not even feasible for me to go camping for a weekend, just the way things are right now. And I know for many of you, you're working hard, you've got family responsibilities, you've got bills to pay, and just upping and leaving is not an option. And so I throw out the idea of just getting outside, and that could mean outdoors, outside, or it could also mean getting outside of your normal routine. So home, office, whatever it is that you do on a regular basis, how can you mix that up to give yourself the feeling of a little bit of a break? Whether that's you're going to eat lunch in the park today instead of in the office, or maybe you're going to go outside and take a walk. You make a deal with yourself. I'm going to take a walk every day to manage my overwhelm, to process. Or maybe it's simply grounding. I've talked a lot about that, where you take your shoes and socks off and just run your toes through the sand or the grass and connect with Mother Earth. But just getting outside of your normal routine, it doesn't mean you need to take a trip. It would be wonderful if you could get away. I know that that is not reasonable for many of you, myself included. So do your best to duplicate those feelings of getting away in your normal routine. Number 4, say no. You've heard me talk about saying no. I say that over and over. I preach it over and over because I'm the worst at saying no. I'm such a giver and an empath that I want to just give and give. And while I'm doing that, I'm not taking care of myself. And so I'm going to say it again. Say no to some things. That means, you remember, there's the good, better, best. There's good things, there's better things, and there's best things. Say no to the good and the better, and say yes to just the best ways to spend your time. The other stuff will wait. The wine tastings, the baby showers, the candle parties, those will wait, and those will be around when you've gotten through your overwhelming time. Just retreat, circle the wagons, and take care of the most important things and people in your life. So say no. Number 5, meditate, breathe. Now, I've made videos about meditation. I'm a huge proponent of meditation. It's my therapy. It's the way that I deal with anxiety and stress and the blues and so forth. It's how I empower myself. It's how I build confidence. For a detailed explanation of meditation, you can go find my other video here on YouTube, or if you're following me on Facebook right now, you can go to my YouTube channel and find it, all about how to do it and the different types of meditation. But fantastic, I can't say enough good about it. That's one way to retreat and get out of your daily routine. Even if you're staying in your same home, you find a corner that's quiet and you breathe and you meditate and you focus on positive things, or focus on nothing at all. Just anything but the negative, anything but the overwhelm is what's going to help. So number 6, say yes. Now, I just talked about saying no, and now there's yes. And what I mean by that is say yes to something pampering. I went out and I got a mani-pedi. See my beautiful? And yes, It's shellac on my nails. And yes, I know it's very toxic. Everything else in my life I've detoxed from. I don't color my hair. I use safe beauty products, safe cosmetics. I'm very careful about what I eat. This is my vice. I admit it. I'm a crazy nail biter. This is what helps keep my nails looking nice. It is what it is. I'm going to not fight that battle. I allow myself, I'm saying yes to something that, you know, feels like an indulgence. It's expensive. And so I pinch so that I can treat myself once in a while. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed, to sit in that chair and have someone massage my feet and paint my toes and do my nails, it lifts me. It really just lifts me and makes me feel like $1,000,000. I feel like the luckiest lady in the whole wide world when I get that done. It might not float your boat, whatever it is for you, whether it's a massage, getting your hair done, buying an outfit. I'm not advocating retail therapy. I'm advocating an act in a moment of despair, an act that will lift you. And so say yes to something that might be a little crazy, out of the ordinary, but something that is a treat for you. Number 7, how can I not talk about overcoming overwhelm without mentioning alcohol and weed? You know, a lot of people I know will have a glass of wine to de-stress. A lot of people I also know will partake of THC or CBD, cannabis, and I feel like there are so many ways that we can safely and responsibly partake of such substances to help take the edge off. Now, if you're an addict, or you find yourself going down a rabbit hole when you partake, then no, don't do it, right? Be smart about it. But I personally don't drink very often at all. So when I do have a glass of wine, it really just takes the edge. I'm able to laugh a little bit. I'm able to stop myself at a glass. So that's key, right? And the whole cannabis thing, there's just something about being able to take the edge off of your stress and partake in something that is legal in many states and countries now. And so, you know, no shame, whatever it takes, as long as you're not over medicating or, you know, feeding an addiction. Of course, I'm not going to advocate that. Of course, I'm talking about responsible use of such elements. Okay. On that note, number 8 is sex. Yes, I said it, sex. I don't really need to say more than sex with a wonderful partner or yourself can relieve a lot of stress too. And I'm not talking about pornography. I'm not talking about that kind of gratification, because that puts down another individual. I'm talking about the lifting up, being with a caring, loving partner, or of course yourself. Hopefully you love yourself and you can pleasure yourself. And that is a huge release. Wonderful way to offset overwhelm for sure. I'm not going to say more. You can explore that on your own. Good luck with that. Have fun. I'm almost done. Thanks for staying with me. I'm almost done, I promise. Number 9 is take on a small project. I was going to say strange project, but that could help. That could work too. But the other day I was really struggling, and so I thought I'm going to go through all the t-shirts I have in my closet, and I'm going to hang up everything in a different order in my closet. I couldn't take on ditching clothes for my closet. That's another thing for another day. Spring cleaning is takes a lot of mental energy. I wasn't there. But I was able to, with my glass of red wine, I was able to go through some of the things like the t-shirts in my closet and rehang everything and organize that. And it just felt good to have something in my life in order when it felt like other things in my life were chaotic and crazy. Just having control of one small thing. So you could pick a small project. Now, some of us pick these huge things and then they don't get done, and then that adds to the overwhelm. I'm such a failure. I could never finish anything. I'm talking about something small with a concrete start, middle, and finish. Something that you can finish and feel really good about. Okay. 3 more. Hang with me. Number 10 is sleep. Now, I know for many of us, when we feel overwhelmed, it's really difficult to get sleep. And so I'm advocating for you to look for every opportunity to sleep more, whether that's you get a cat nap and you go out to your car during lunch, set an alarm, and you sleep during lunch. a lot of experts, myself included, feel like in times of overwhelm, if you have to choose between exercise and more sleep, pick the sleep. Okay? I know that's crazy for a fitness expert to say, but I agree that if you had to choose, and this is in times of overwhelm, sleep more. Find ways to sleep more. I have a whole video on getting great sleep. Look for it. It's on my YouTube channel somewhere. So look for it. You can find more tips. Along with sleep is exercise. Of course, move your body. That's number 11. I know I said I had 12 things. I actually have 13 things. Exercising, moving your body, going and taking a walk, taking a class, kickboxing, punching the air, spinning hard, running hard, doing something that just releases that stress is a big help for a lot of people. But on the flip side, some people, that's more stress. That adds more cortisol, more stress hormone to their system. It actually makes them, or the pressure of working out makes them feel more stressed. I would suggest for you, if you're like that, to stretch. Go take a hot yoga class. Pull up a stretching video on YouTube and do some stretching in your living room. Roll out on your foam roller. Do some self-massage. Do something that relieves stress. It's exercise, but in a different way. Okay, next, 2 more. Eat. So if you are a health nut, if you're really into clean eating, continue to eat that way. Really nourish yourself during times of stress and overwhelm. It's easy to eat to feed that emotion, and we always crave yucky stuff, or not yucky, it's delicious, but it's not healthy for us. Whoever craves broccoli when they're stressed out? Nobody ever. So I'm going to qualify this with, yes, we want to eat really healthy. We want to take care of ourselves so we don't get sick during times of overwhelm. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe, inflicting these really strong, narrow boundaries on yourself. You know, maybe if you always eat clean, maybe during overwhelm is a time for you to treat yourself. You're going to go get that piece of cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, or you're going to eat, you know, that piece of chocolate, or whatever it is that calls to you. Maybe indulging, again, in a responsible way, in a controlled way, but you're going to indulge in just a little something. I can't promise it'll make you feel better, but you know what? Maybe it will. I don't know. For me, a treat once in a while, because I can rein myself in, because I'm not a food addict, because I'm not a sugar addict, I can taste a little bit of something yummy and it not lead me off the cliff. Now, if that's going to send you down this rabbit hole, just like the alcohol and cannabis use, if this is going to take you to a place that's not healthy, then ignore it. It's not going to work. But for some people, it does. So definitely eat good food and maybe indulge. Okay, last but not least, you have been so patient. Thank you for sticking around with me to the very end. Last but not least is pet, a dog, a cat, or an animal. There are such amazing vibes and wonderful good feelings from being around an animal and snuggling up with a kitty or a doggy, petting your hamster or your bunny or whatever it is. And if you don't have any pets, go to a park and meet somebody with their dog and ask if you can pet their dog. If you don't like animals, man, I don't know what to tell you. You just maybe have to opt out of this one. There's so many other ways that you can heal yourself. But I just feel like there's something about the unconditional love of a pet, an animal, to make all your fears and all your worries go away. When I snuggle with my dogs, I just feel the most love, and I feel this feeling of contentment, and I feel empowered and more confident that I can take on whatever's aimed my way. Okay, so that's a long list. You have tuned in for a long time. I really do appreciate you liking and following and commenting and subscribing. And no, I know I'm not an expert. I am really curious about maybe some coping mechanisms you have for overcoming overwhelm. So please post below, comment below. I'll do my best to get back to you. Like you, I'm balancing work, family, you know, these hobbies, you know, trying to make ends meet, paying the bills, doing the best I can. And I know that you're the same way. So I do appreciate your time. Your time is valuable to me. And I hope this contributed and uplifted you and benefited you. You want to follow me, you can find me all over social media, Fit Bodies with 2 T's. Sometimes I'm known as Stephenie Fitt Bodies. Sometimes it's just Fit Bodies. I do appreciate you and this wonderful community of like-minded individuals, just trying to do the best we can with what we've got, and making the most of life and loving the bodies we live in. So until next time, everybody, peace out.